Hello and welcome back to Softcore History. My name is Jake Goldman. I'll be your host for this week. I'm joined as always by my two co-hosts, Dan Regester and Rob Fox. And it is someone's birthday today.
It's my Magic Johnson year.
It's his Magic Johnson year.
32, baby.
Oh, I thought he was like number 8 or something. I guess that's Kobe. Congrats on 32. Wow.
I'm hoping it doesn't, follow the Magic Johnson path.
Yeah.
What, you don't want to be rich?
I would love to be rich.
Is that not what you're talking about?
Would you get a horrible disease to be rich?
It doesn't seem to affect him.
I don't think it affects him at all.
And
I think it was kind of bad for like the first 2 years of his life, but not even like from a health standpoint, from a like
PR?
PR and stigma standpoint.
I honestly think it was a strategic play by the government to be like, look, it's not that bad.
Magic Johnson has it.
Yeah. It did end his career, but
basically, yeah,
better than ever.
He owns like the Dodgers and shit.
I think he had to sell, right?
He's
part of the Lakers organization that kind of pushed him out because he wanted to tweet, which I love.
Yeah.
And he has the best Twitter. He just says things that are fact. He's like, today the Celtics beat the 76ers and great showing by Jason Tatum. Like, that's the tweet.
True.
It's good.
Wow, sounds right.
He never has a take. It's just like...
Oh, he's probably he's the closest thing to a journalism we have in 2023.
Magic Johnson's
Magic
Twitter.
Johnson, yeah.
That sounds about right.
All right. Well, today,
hold on. If you're a new listener or maybe you haven't subscribed yet, patreon.com/softcorehistory.
2 extra episodes each week. One drops Wednesday, one drops Friday.
what I was going to say was today I remembered something. Our phone number.
Oh.
We have a call-in voicemail line. And you know what? We're a little short on voicemails. So if you're a Patreon listener, I'm talking directly to you, and you want to hear yourself or hear people talk to us and ask us questions, you need to call this number. That number is 512-981-5143. Again, 512-981-5143.
But also just sign up for the Patreon. It's $5 a month.
Yeah, 2 extra episodes. Also, maybe if you're a regular listener and you just want to drop a grenade in the hole and run away.
Yeah, you can.
Leave a voicemail, whatever.
Yeah,
fuck it.
You don't have to hear it. Actually, I believe Rob or Dan, somebody posted a little tidbit, a little sliver of Patreon content that you can listen to, a little sample of our Dead Languages episode.
Yeah, we actually did. It's an episode that dropped last week. It has the Patreon edition, like, kind of stamp on it on the feed, so you'll be able to, you get the free episode, but it has ads in it. Obviously, you want ad-free content, patreon.com/softcorehistory.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we put that in the main feed.
Yeah.
The Guess the Language episode.
We have a lot of fun with that. I
love that the clip that went viral, micro-viral for us, is you doing accents.
Yeah.
Yes.
Horrifically offensive act. Also, by the way, those people there were some people in the comments that were all pissed off. They're like, you don't know what Creole is, or shut the fuck up, or look, listen. If you got mad at that comment and you're listening to the show now, which is you're not, but
you're not. None of the people in the comment sections that were upset about the Star Wars stuff.
Maybe they're right. Maybe there's other maybe there's other listeners too. They're like, they're idiots. He said it was Creole. He doesn't understand this or that. Look, man, all I did was Google what is Gungan based on, and it said Creole, and I didn't investigate beyond that because it was A, in the moment, and B, this is goddamn softcore history.
It's the internet.
Yeah.
Were they getting a little mad about the island aspect of Creole?
I don't know. They said I was wrong or something.
It's not that deep, brother.
Yeah. I was just like, look, man, Google was wrong. I was repeating what I saw.
I'm shocked you guys read or respond to comments on social media.
I don't respond hardly ever, but I did read that, and it was enough for me to be like, interested at what the problem was.
Yeah, well, we got a little problem this episode.
Did you not write it?
Dog ate my homework, man.
The American Revolution.
It's crazy.
What's up with that?
Can you imagine if I just came in, just blank fucking word processor on my computer screen, just like, yeah, so I'm riffing it, man. No, this week we're going to be talking about a gentleman named Juan Pujol Garcia. And
let me guess, after the 50s?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's big for you.
That is big for me. And it's not in America either.
Wow.
He was born in 1992 in San Diego. Currently, I don't even know what would be. He works for the cartel.
Yeah. No. Juan Pujol Garcia. Pujol.
Not Pujols?
Pujol.
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 Doesn't end with an S.
The singular Pujol.
Pujol. Yes. This guy might have single-handedly, like, without him, the Allies might not have won World War II.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Without
Sounds
one
important.
man.
Oh no, have you not heard all the Russian propaganda over the last year?
Oh my God, it's insane.
That they completely won World War II?
Yeah, that and like, they're...
All right, so it was before Ukraine, and it was actually the left that started to put that out, like that Russia helped us and essentially won with
That
Stalingrad
the Americans and British were superfluous.
Yeah.
Yes.
To
They're running that
unnecessary.
back, though.
Yeah.
I know.
Ever since we got into the Ukraine, they're like, oh, no, actually, Russia didn't.
But the hard tankies are still like, yeah. They
Yeah.
did. Yeah, it's weird because like the lefter people of center were like, no, I mean, like the Russians did do a lot. Then the tankies were like, yeah, they did all of it. Fuck America.
We were useless. D-Day was just a blip.
Yeah, and then
Didn't mean shit.
the Russia shit, the Ukraine shit happened, and the left of center people were like, no, never mind, fuck Russia.
Yeah.
And then the tankies still stayed
After
tankies.
further review.
The funniest part is, though, because D-Day is kind of like our most famous. It really, I don't know that it even should be, but it is our most famous World War II battle. Saving Private Ryan certainly helped with that, but also Beach Landing, very dramatic, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like,
It is
D-Day.
very cinematic.
Yeah, they're like only like fucking 6,000 people died on D-Day or something. That's how many people died in Stalingrad every fucking 8 minutes or some shit like that. Which not inaccurate in terms of just volume A versus B, but like D-Day, it was like a year and a half leading up to D-Day. The Russians were like, for the love of God, open another front,
Yeah.
please. We can't handle this.
Yeah.
Also,
it was
bad strategy does not equate to winning the war, okay? Just because you're throwing bodies at a situation.
Yeah. You know, there's plenty of people that died the most and also lost the war. Yeah. More
Oh my
often
God!
than
You know how
not.
many Chinese soldiers died before we even get into people? I think China might have the second. Well, they might be fourth behind the two Axis powers, but in terms of allied powers, China is probably number 2 in terms of just soldier battlefield death to Russia because, again, it was like a body situation.
Yeah. You just throw flesh into the gears, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Pujol, he was a Catalan.
He was a what?
Catalan. A Catalan.
Catalonian,
He's a Catalan. Yeah.
Catalan. Didn't they just try to secede?
They always do, man.
They're like Quebec.
we can get into the whole Barcelona seceding from Spain thing later at another time, but it is a whole thing you got to unpack because they are very like culturally different. than
Spain
the
is
rest of
Spain is kind of a social construct.
yeah. I mean, so is Italy. Like, I mean,
Italy and Germany.
Yeah, a lot of Europe is.
I mean,
Europe-
Germany hasn't even been a country for 200 years.
neither is Italy.
Yeah.
yeah. No.
Yeah, but let's not throw Germany under the same umbrella as Spain, Greece, or Italy.
Greece makes more sense as a unified situation than
Actually
any
does.
of those
I'm
ones.
just saying Germany's kind of, holding the euro together.
Be nice. Be
They're
nice. to them.
competent people.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes they don't always point that arrow in the right direction.
No, they're efficient no matter what. Always efficient.
Can't control, what they're efficient
They're
in.
like, no, if we needed to kill, like they seriously did with an entire group of ethnic people. Be like, how do we kill them the fastest?
It's like I used to tell people when I was on Adderall in high school and college, and they're like, so did it just make you smart and study super hard? And I'm like, oh. No. I was like, it's like a weapon. Like it enhances you, but you still have to point it in the right direction.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise you'll end. I think I made this joke in an exec board episode. Otherwise you'll end up, instead of studying for your final exam, writing like a 50-page movie outline, which I did one time.
Yeah,
like
I'm just going to start cleaning the kitchen.
yeah, like
It's going to be spotless.
you'll do something.
Yeah.
Dude, one time in college, you remember when you could start putting petitions up that the government had to look at in like during the Obama
Oh, yeah,
presidential
yeah.
campaign?
Change.org.
Change.org, yeah. So I wrote like 30 of them when I was on Adderall one time. One was to bring back like 3D Doritos. It was just like,
Wait, they did though.
How far did you get?
They're back.
Are you the reason why?
some say I might be.
They're back.
Yeah. You're welcome, America.
Also, they have a new Dorito thing at some restaurant now. It's not. I think it's like KFC or something.
What? They
It's like a
bread
new
it with...
Dorito crusted situation. It's not Taco Bell.
Okay, I've crusted chicken with Cheetos before. Not bad.
I made like a really shitty Crash the Super Bowl Doritos commercial in college. That weirdly has like 50,000 views. I feel like Doritos owes us money.
Yeah, pay up, Doritos. We're talking about you a lot. And too much.
Yeah,
we need to be
us,
talking about
not just you.
No, I will share it with you guys. We are a team now.
So back to Pujol. So Juan Pujol was a Catalan managing a poultry farm north of Barcelona in 1936 when the Spanish Civil War began. He wasn't much of a fighter. When he did his 6 months of compulsory military service in 1931, he was placed in a cavalry unit, and he knew he was unsuited for a military career, hating horse riding and claiming to lack the essential qualities of loyalty, generosity, and honor. Those are his words. Self-described.
I'm neither loyal. I'm just like, I can't be here. I hate horses and I'm a piece of shit.
That's what he said outright.
Like I am I'm so narcissistic that I hate my horse.
He hates them. And I love that he knows who he is right off the bat. He's like, listen, fuck horses.
Can I tell you what? I wouldn't want to be in a goddamn cavalry unit that uses horses in 1936 either.
No. It's a little late.
Yeah.
It's a little late.
Yeah.
There's
I wouldn't feel safe on a horse in a battle 100 years before that.
No. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Cavalry
Let alone now.
It's not like you're just riding up on people with spears.
But you have the high ground.
Yeah, sure. You are a target sitting way up.
More to hit.
Yeah.
They're like, oh man, if I miss him, I'll still murder his horse. Maybe he'll fall off it, get Christopher Reeved.
Remember the Bull Run episode where the guy kept getting shot off his horse, or his horses kept getting shot out from under him? It happened like
he
3
never
times.
got hit.
Or
he was too tall.
the Custer episode I did. I don't know if that was Patreon or main, but George Custer's brother just kept getting horses murdered from under him. He was fine he got shot in the face.
It's very common.
That's Patreon.
Yeah. But during the Spanish Civil War, his sister Elena's fiance was taken by Republican forces, and later she and his mother were arrested and charged with being counter-revolutionaries. A relative in a trade union was able to rescue them from captivity, however. He was called up for military service on the Republican side, which is in opposition to Franco's nationalists, but opposed the Republican government due to their treatment of his family. So he hid at his girlfriend's home until he was captured in a police raid, and he was imprisoned for a week. He was freed via the traditionalist resistance group Socorro Blanco. They hid him until they could produce fake identity papers that showed him to be too old for military service.
What does Socorro mean?
I don't know.
It's the white something.
The white Socorro.
Yeah.
Let's look it up.
The white death. The white string. By the way, my new favorite analogy is that the Ukraine war is the new Spanish Civil War. Just our little lead up to World War III, where we test out our weapons and shit.
I mean,
some people from the West go to volunteer.
Yeah, it's like we gotta shoot these guns, man.
We gotta see how it works. I mean, the Germans were testing out everything. Let's see how this Stuka dive bomber does on these fucking Spaniards.
Yeah, dude. So Socorro Blanco means white help.
White help.
The white help. Yes.
Boo. That's lame.
He started managing a poultry farm that had been requisitioned by the local Republican government, but it was not economically viable. The experience with rule by committee intensified his hatred towards communism. So he hates communists. I want you to keep that in mind.
Fair enough.
Yeah. He rejoined the Republican military using his false papers with the intention to desert as soon as possible, volunteering to lay telegraph cables near the front lines. He managed to desert to the nationalist side during the Battle of the Ebro in September 1938. However, he was equally ill-treated by the nationalist fascist side.
It's not I don't know a ton about the Spanish Civil War. I've never read For Whom the Bell Tolls, for example.
Yeah.
Although it seems like a great book. But man, it sounds like a fucking nightmare. Like, I would rather fight in the U.S. Civil War. And the U.S. Civil War is a fucking nightmare.
Way more dangerous. Yeah.
Like, the U.S. Civil War, I don't know, maybe you're more likely to die or lose a limb, like, just because you get a bullet.
Yeah, actually,
you want to
tell
just
me
like
why.
fight in Ibiza? Like,
yeah, you go to the club after?
yeah, it'd be tight.
See Avicii? Or R.I.P.
Take a pill.
Yeah. But Spanish Civil War is like someone will chop your hands off and murder your whole family. Like, it
was bloody.
Gnarly.
Yeah.
It's personal. Like, the U.S. Civil War was like a war.
Sure. But you're also in Virginia. I'd rather have a view.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You know, Myrtle Beach, the ending scene in Glory was on the beach. All those guys died on a nice beach in South Carolina.
You say Myrtle's a nice beach?
I don't know. I mean, Charleston has some nice beaches.
Charleston's nice.
Charleston is nice.
Myrtle's, a little white trashy.
Well, so is the Confederacy.
Yeah.
It's kind of their whole thing. Yeah.
They just went to a T-shirt shop after the battle.
So Pujol disliked fascist influences and being.
I'm sorry, back-to-back Bull Run champions.
Where were we on that?
We still have to. We'll have to put that in the store.
Yeah. Disliking their fascist influences, the nationalist said, and being struck and imprisoned by his colonel upon Pujol expressing sympathy with the monarchy really, really made him hate fascists too. So the guy is a normal dude.
Yeah. I hate fascists.
I hate communists. I hate fascists. Why is everyone so extreme all the time? I feel like I can relate.
Yeah.
It sounds like a normal guy.
Feels accurate.
His experience with both sides left him with a deep loathing of both fascism and communism.
Tired of this both sides-ism bullshit. Pick a fucking side. There's nothing I hate more than people that scream about both sides-ism.
Yeah. It's like
suck my dick. Maybe you do both suck. Maybe I hate all of you.
Yeah. Maybe, it isn't black and white. Maybe it's the same. It's two sides of the same coin, brother.
Yeah, man. It's all about being the gray man.
Mm.
Ryan Gosling.
Everything lives in ambiguity. We just work our asses off trying to define it away, and it's dumb.
We fear the
Don't
chaos.
preach to me, you cuck.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I was preaching to.
Why'd you call him a cuck?
Yeah. Why'd you? It's his birthday. Let him.
All right.
He's wearing a visor.
Oh, I'm in a Margaritaville mood, my friend.
I'm into that.
I was grilling today.
I mean, if there's ever a community that probably swings, it's the
Margaritaville.
Parrot heads?
Parrot heads for sure.
You fucking kidding me? Yeah, they swing.
They drink more margaritas than water.
I don't think you after a week in Margaritaville, you don't remember who your wife is.
No, everyone has the same just kind of skin that resembles a 15-year-old baseball glove.
Yeah, it's like just leather bag style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I
what are the
imagine
issues?
like a young parrot head giving birth is essentially Danny DeVito descending from that couch in It's Always Sunny.
Christmas special.
Yeah, just like a living thing coming out of leather.
We should definitely go to a Jimmy Buffett concert if you ever
I'm
consider them.
down to clown
Yeah.
at a Jimmy Buffett concert.
They're supposed to be really fun. I've never been. Joe's been a couple times though. He says
Of course
they're
he
awesome.
has. Yeah, of course.
What is that box that's essentially a suit that you go into sexually and they fill it with air?
What the fuck are you talking about?
What? Did you travel to the future?
Are they doing like air compression kinks now?
No, it's a thing. I don't know. And you breathe through a straw and you're in this kind of like latex box. That's what I imagine a lot.
And like, is your dick just sticking out and that's it?
No, I think you are the submissive that's watching, or like the cuck that's watching your wife get banged inside.
But you're also in like a fucking latex sarcophagus?
Yeah. You're kind of like Han Solo in the, what is it, Carbonite?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking
I've
about?
never heard of this. This is insane.
I can't even imagine this. Like,
I'll
I'm
have
having
to-
trouble picturing it.
I'll throw it up right now in front of me in the video on YouTube. Softcore History on YouTube if you want to check it out.
Yeah, please give a sub to that. Like, I am. Is it like what was that show where they had like a digital heaven? I think it was on Amazon or something. So those people existed still digitally.
It was like
and they could fuck
Upload.
people in the real world.
It was Upload.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And they had to put on like a big rubber sex suit and get in the bathtub.
The people in the real world.
Yeah. To fuck their
Yeah.
significant others.
Upload's actually pretty good. I
Yeah, I
enjoyed
liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Upload. There's definitely, that sounds like what he's talking about, but I think it sounds more like, just imagine like the GIMP from, what do you call it?
It's essentially a
Pulp
gimp
Fiction.
suit. Yeah.
Yeah, a GIMP suit, but like, that's, you just
But
watch,
you're in a box.
but you can't leave the box.
And somebody's fucking your wife.
Probably. Is
Is that what you saw at the club? Is that what was going on? Was there a guy like that
I saw
there?
a lot of things at the club.
We'll have to unpack
Just
that.
saw a
one day.
cube man coming, like a cube, like a guy, only a head sticking out of a cube, just like, and two
No, the
people.
the head's covered as well, so you have a literal straw so you can breathe.
God,
This sounds like
that
a
sounds terrible.
nightmare.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to see it, but it sounds horrifying.
Again, YouTube.
Yeah, you'll
Software
have to watch
History.
the video.
Subscribe.
So yeah, Pujol, we'll just keep going. Pujol, therefore, hated Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union as things were starting to play out.
Potato.
Yeah.
I mean, they did both invade Poland together.
They liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was proud that
Who
he managed.
amongst us has not invaded Poland?
Show me one man. He was the proud.
He should probably invade Poland now.
What's the time?
They're getting
Might as
kind
well.
of,
Comfortable.
not comfortable,
They
but
shouldn't be. If there's one thing Poland should not be, it's
a
comfortable.
little fascisty.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, Pujol was proud that he managed to serve both sides without firing a single bullet for either. After his discharge from the Nationalist Army, he met his wife, got married, and had a kid. In 1940, during the early stages of World War II, Pujol decided that he must make a contribution for the good of humanity by helping Britain, which at the time was Germany's only adversary.
So he went from, was he just lying about not being generous, loyal, or?
I think he was serious. Like, I think he's like, I don't fucking care about your cause.
Yeah.
I'm not loyal to you. Like, why? I'm not going to help.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Like if for some reason Texas, like let's say we're like the Greek city-states, you know, like we're a country, but like it's a little loosely connected, and Texas went to war with Oklahoma tomorrow. I would
we would roll Oklahoma.
Dude, honestly.
Well, we would roll it, but I wouldn't volunteer to be a part of it.
Hold on. But think about it. We would roll Oklahoma, right? So
You
think
get to
about
win a
it.
war.
Just for the easy dub. Like,
Yeah, I'm
I
joining
guess,
that
man.
cause.
I feel like you're just
I'm
waiting to eat an IED in Oklahoma.
Oh.
You're like, oh, there's another dead dog, but there's a bomb under it. Yeah.
Yeah, right. No, I'd probably just go back to Florida. Right. And then they'd go to war with fucking, I don't know, Cuba or some shit.
Now, if Missouri went to war with Kansas, I'm all in. But
Yeah. Well,
Although I could see the Oklahomans kind of being Afghanis, where they just like dug in like ticks.
yeah, they couldn't. Oklahoma would not be able to project force onto Texas, except for maybe just right around the border.
They would just wait it out.
But they would dig in and just make. I mean, first off, think about how demoralized you are in Oklahoma when it's peaceful.
yeah.
Now there's people shooting at you.
Yeah, they wanted more.
That's the thing. I don't think there's any reason to invade. There's no reason.
Casinos.
Yeah.
We just changed the law, man.
We can't because of them in Louisiana.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we won't. They're
Well,
paying Texas politicians, I
not
assume,
to,
to.
yeah.
Backhanded deals.
Yeah.
Well, starting in January 1941, Pujol approached the British embassy in Madrid 3 different times to help them. But they showed no interest in employing him as a spy.
Well, I mean, I guess if you just show up
Yeah.
and you're like, hello, England, I'd like to spy for you.
They're
Do you
like,
need spy?
nah, man.
I'd like to spy for you, yes.
They said,
That's how, because I applied for the
No
CIA that way.
gracias.
I,
Yeah.
I walked up to Langley and I was like, hello, I'd like a spy application.
you got it, bud. Can you imagine if that's how it works? Just like, you seem shifty.
It's like a fucking
yeah.
Popeyes. You're just like,
I
You just
brought my
drive
mom.
into the gate at Quantico.
yeah.
Therefore, since he was not accepted by the Brits for help, he resolved to establish himself as a German agent and then go back to the Brits.
Smart.
Yeah. Have you heard of this guy? Is this starting to ring any bells?
Yeah, it is starting to ring a bell.
Yeah. So he created.
He actually might have been featured in that movie on Netflix that came out
Mincemeat?
recently. Yeah.
Yep.
Is he?
He might be, but
I think he might be mentioned.
He plays a big part in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he creates an identity as a fanatically pro-Nazi Spanish government official who could travel to London on official business. He also obtained a fake Spanish diplomatic passport by fooling a printer into thinking he worked for the Spanish embassy in Lisbon.
Isn't mincemeat what you call your penis?
No,
I thought
that's what I
Kate
call
told
my
me that.
butthole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty toe up.
Yeah. Mincemeat.
It's minced.
Yeah.
Gets minced.
That's right. I'm only going with it because it's your birthday.
We have to yes and everything he
Yeah.
does
Yeah.
on his birthday.
I did no and, but I went with it. It was kind of like a no yes, if you think
This is
about
too meta.
it. Okay. So yeah, he contacted Friedrich Rady, a German counterintelligence agent in Madrid, codenamed Federico. He accepted Pujol, and the Germans gave him a crash course in espionage, including how to code his writing.
Learn the code.
Yeah. He was given a bottle of invisible ink, a code book, and 600 pounds for expenses. His instructions were to move to Britain and recruit a network of British agents. He moved instead to Lisbon, and using a tourist guide to Britain, reference books, and magazines from the Lisbon Public Library, he created seemingly credible reports out of thin air that came from London. So he never even went.
That's fucking great. By the way, man, I guess he eventually went to the British or whatever, but like, people don't, the Gestapo has this like reputation because they're terrifying, but the German intelligence just got clowned again and again.
This episode is just a giant clowning
Yeah.
of the German intelligence system.
Yeah.
Basically.
I mean,
the only way they found out if anybody was not German is if they did the German 3.
Yeah, so they always had to have him at a bar.
If they always went with the regular 3, they're fucked.
Yeah, so they would send 2 guys to meet one guy at a bar. And they'd be like, hey, order us rounds. But if he brought a friend, they were fucked.
Yeah.
Because he'd be like, 4.
Is it not?
I guess it would be this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes thumb first.
Thumb first, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
According to Tarantino.
That's why I count.
This does not feel natural. This is all right.
This is fine.
This feels all right. This feels fucked up. Like
This feels
way, yeah.
This feels as dumb as this.
This feels dumb to you? Yeah, this does feel dumb. This is better.
Yeah.
The thumb and 2 fingers is better.
This is better, but that feels right.
I like it. My favorite part of that scene is how he knew immediately. Fassbender, I mean, was like, fuck.
There's a dude on the
Yeah.
Sixers that hit a 3 the other day and did the German 3, and I'm like, we're going to lose now.
And you did.
And we did.
Yep. So during his time in Portugal, he stayed in Estoril at the Hotel Palacio. He claimed to be traveling around Britain and submitted his travel expenses based on fares listed in a British railway guide. Pujol's unfamiliarity with the non-decimal system of currency used in Britain at the time was a slight difficulty. So at this time, Great Britain's unit of currency, the pound sterling, was subdivided into 20 shillings, each having 12 pence, which makes it really confusing if you're not used to that.
Yeah. That's they shit on us for not having a metric system or
Their
whatever.
money system was fucking dumb,
Suck
dude.
my dick,
I'm
England.
sorry. Do you not have a 9mm?
Bruh. No. I only go caliber.
Do you not have grams of weed in your car at all times?
I only measure it in ounces.
Man, wow. It's funny, though, because everyone knows how many grams is in an ounce because of drugs. It's
Yeah, we use the
28.
fucking metric system all the time.
Yeah, every day.
Also, is Celsius included in the metric system? Or is that a separate thing?
That's a measure of
I believe
temperature.
Pepsi bought them.
Yes.
Yes. But Fahrenheit, better way to measure temperature for every day.
I do like that Celsius is 0 is the freezing versus ours 32.
Yeah, but 100 is boiling, and that's
gets
weird.
confusing.
Yeah, it does.
yeah. It's better to be on a 100 scale for like 70. It's 70% warm.
Yeah.
30. It's 30% warm. That
0,
makes
it's
way more
really cool.
fucking
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, then they'll say shit, whatever their number is. It's like, oh, it's 36 out. I'm like, what?
The fuck
Is that good or bad?
Yeah.
I don't know what it means.
They don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's double, right? Kind of ish.
Fahrenheit, like
Yeah.
you divide by 2 or multiply by 2.
I think Celsius, yeah, you just multiply by 2 and you get the Fahrenheit. It's like around 2.
Well, 0 times 2 is 0.
Yeah. How do you explain that,
fool.
Poindexter?
I can't tell you.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, so
I know it's, I mean, like, but maybe in like the 30s. So like a 30 Celsius would be like
60 Fahrenheit-ish.
probably more, maybe like 2.5.
I have a computer on me. I'm not going to look it up.
All right.
Yeah.
We're here for Celsius talk today.
Here on the Conversion of Units podcast. But Pujol was unable to total his expenses in the complex system that he wasn't familiar with, so he just itemized everything and just sent them like long-ass receipts.
So long, they were just like, what does the bottom say? Fuck it. Just
give it to
just
him.
pays the man. He's very competent.
That's almost exactly what happened, Rob. That happened with...
We're so busy. We're so busy.
They were busy with the
We're
war.
fighting the whole world. It just pays the man. It's fine.
During this time, he created an extensive network of fictitious subagents living in different parts of Britain because he had never...
Carl Smith. Stephen Jones.
Yep. Wagner. Because he had never actually visited the UK, he made several mistakes in his reports, such as claiming that his alleged contact in Glasgow would do anything for a litre of wine, unaware of the Scottish drinking habits or that the UK did not use the metric system at the time. So,
Or probably that guy's not begging for wine either.
no, that's what they're saying. Scottish drinking habits would not, the guy would not want wine.
But you said they didn't use a liter either back then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine like you're like, yeah, I'm spying like here in Kentucky, and all this guy wants is a liter of Merlot to get paid. I'm in Appalachia. He just wants 1 liter.
He wants
Cabernet Sauvignon.
really specific about it. Yeah, no, I mean,
Feels inaccurate
feels
to the
like
area.
he wants a fifth of Evan Williams, my friend. Like, yeah. So his reports were intercepted by the British Ultra Communications Interceptions Program and seemed so credible that the British Counterintelligence Service, MI5, launched a full-scale spy hunt for him.
In the UK.
In the UK for Pujol.
That's fucking rad. But
Yeah.
he's not there.
He's not. He's in Lisbon, Portugal, fucking everybody.
Could
up
you
right
even
now.
do this now?
No.
Do we live in the wrong time?
Yeah, this is... You just wing it. He winged it. He got to this point by just lying.
I mean,
to
this guy
people.
was like, I'm going to be a spy.
Yeah. And what he did was spy shit. He lied to be able to become one. So that makes you a good spy, I imagine.
Now what do? You just start an app or something stupid?
I don't know.
You work for the CIA.
They train you and all the good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start a revolution in South America.
It can't be hard. Everyone. Who hasn't started a revolution in South America? Anyway, in February of 1942, he approached the United States after it entered the war. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He did approach the United States after it entered the war, contacting U.S. Navy Lieutenant Patrick Demarest in the Naval Attaché's office in Lisbon, who recognized Pujol's potential. Demarest contacted his British counterparts. The British had become aware that someone had been misinforming the Germans, and they realized it after the Kriegsmarine wasted resources attempting to hunt down a non-existent convoy reported to them by Pujol.
So at this point, he was just double agenting the Germans without even working with the British.
No, the British thought someone was fucking their shit up.
Yeah, he was a lone wolf.
Yeah, he was a lone wolf double agent. Like he was like, I'm going to pretend to be a Nazi spy and just tell them all wrong shit
About
to
what the
fuck with
Brits are
them.
doing.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
And he is a troll.
And by the way, this is one thing that happens in totalitarian governments. It happens in any government, but it's really prone to happen in totalitarian governments, which is he's giving them dog shit information, but the people above him are too afraid to say they made a mistake in hiring him or something like that because they might get a bullet in their head or they're going to get thrown in jail. Like you can't make mistakes.
Yeah, you want to pass the buck.
Right.
Well, also, it looks good when you bring good info, too. And, everyone wants to be like, I have a really good guy for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I bet somebody that was directly above him realized their mistake pretty quick, but they're like,
You can't own a mistake.
no.
no, you get dead.
Yeah. You can't. You have to
You're
just.
going on a train.
You have to just keep acting like this is legit.
It's insane. The expectation in a totalitarian hierarchy of power is to bat 1,000. Always.
Yeah.
You must always be batting 1,000. That's how Chernobyl happens.
Yep.
Oh, no, everything's fine.
We're good. We're good. Don't
Yeah.
check it out. It's fine.
Yeah, no, that couldn't be possible. It's like, there's no roof, dude. No, there's a roof.
Apparently, that was a thing with COVID in China too. None of the local Chinese officials were reporting anything accurately, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's a big conspiracy," but it was really just they're not allowed to do anything badly.
It's called no bad news. It's a whole thing.
Right.
Yeah. He was moved eventually to Britain on April 24th of 1942. However, after he passed a security check conducted by an MI6 officer, the MI6 officer suggested that he be accompanied by MI5 officer Thomas Harris, a fluent Spanish speaker.
Now, what's the difference between MI5 and MI6?
MI6 is super secret.
That's James Bond is MI6.
Yeah. MI5 is your general CIA, I would imagine. And then MI6 would be Black Ops within it.
Gotcha.
I could be wrong on that, but that's my understanding as a civilian. But yeah, so they pair him up with a Spanish speaker. Pujol operated as a double agent under the watch of the XX Committee. Cyril Mills was initially Pujol's case officer, but he spoke no Spanish and quickly dropped out of the picture. His main contribution was to suggest, after the truly extraordinary dimensions of Pujol's imagination and accomplishments had become apparent, that his code name should be something as befitted for the best actor in the world.
So he just named him well.
Yeah.
Okay.
He gave him the name, and that's the only reason we're even mentioning his name in this story. Pujols became Garbo after Greta Garbo.
Sick.
Yeah. So Mills passed his case back over to the Spanish-speaking officer, Harris. Together, Harris and Pujol.
What if he just thought? What if he was just thought Pujol was sexy as fuck?
God damn it! You remind me of a young Greta Garbo.
He's just the way you trick those Nazis gets me so randy. You're my Greta Garbo.
Probably is what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar cheekbones.
Yeah. It's always the cheekbones.
I mean,
big
the
cheek guy?
Spaniards are beautiful people.
Not really. I just thought of a physical attribute.
I'll look her up.
Tight ass.
We'll see if the cheekbones play.
Yeah, I have no
Yeah,
idea.
same tits.
Yeah, Pujol just
Yeah,
had
the tits don't really. That's not really the same. You know who she looks like? Leslie Mann.
kinda. Yeah,
She's
she's
cute.
pretty.
For the time.
For the time.
Probably a pancake ass.
Well, I mean,
Undoubtedly.
What do you want? This woman was malnourished for a decade.
Probably had a ton of speed, too.
Yeah. Well, she's eating cigarettes.
Yeah. Harrison Pujol wrote 315 letters averaging 2,000 words addressed to a post office box in Lisbon supplied by the Germans. His fictitious spy network was so efficient and verbose that his German handlers were overwhelmed and made no further attempts to recruit any additional spies in the UK.
God.
He was one of one.
They were like, this guy's crushing it so hard.
Yeah. Yeah. They were like, we don't need any more guys. We got the guy.
Did they give him a raise?
He was paid pretty well. We'll get to his pay in a little bit. The information supplied to German intelligence was a mixture of complete fiction, genuine information of little military value, and valuable military intelligence artificially delayed. So he would send real shit to him, but it would always get hung up in the mail. So in November 1942, just before the Operation Torch landings in North Africa, Garbo's agent on the River Clyde reported, and remember, this is Garbo's agent on the River Clyde.
Right.
Quotes, this isn't a real fucking person. He's making shit up.
Yeah.
Reported that a convoy of troop ships and warships had left port, painted in Mediterranean camouflage. While the letter was sent by airmail and postmarked before the landings, it was deliberately delayed by British intelligence in order to arrive too late to be useful. So the Brits, all they did was like, we'll give them real shit. We'll just hold it up in the fucking post.
You're just like fucked in the intelligence war if the British are on the other side.
Yeah, no, they're clever.
Yeah.
They're really good. I mean, think about how dangerous that is. It's like you're basically putting in writing, this is exactly what we're going to do. Put it in the mail. But you know what? It's not going to get there on time.
We'll hold it up.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't trust them as an ally.
What do you mean? You think they're too clever?
They might be manipulating some stuff.
You never know.
Our oldest enemy, really.
The English.
Pujol received a reply from the Germans stating, we are sorry they arrived too late, but your last reports were magnificent. Pujol had been supposedly communicating with the Germans via courier, a Royal Dutch Airlines pilot willing to carry messages to and from Lisbon for cash. So this guy was compromised. This meant that message deliveries were limited to KLM flight schedule. In 1943, responding to German requests for speedier communication, Pujol and Harris created a fictitious radio operator. So they had a fake guy in the clouds, I guess. Basically.
Yeah. Like that guy in Mario who just drops shells on you.
Yeah.
Floats around.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
No.
He just lives in a cloud.
Cloud boy.
Cloud guy, yeah. From August 1943 on, radio became the preferred method of communication with him via the German radio band frequencies. So they had, I assume they were just talking to him. He was just like, oh yeah, this is the agent.
Yeah.
The other one.
Hey, so I saw some stuff.
Pretty much. On occasion, he had to invent reasons why his agents had failed to report easily available information. For example, he reported that his Liverpool agent had fallen ill just before a major fleet movement from that port, and so was unable to report the event.
How do you not?
It's like
You would become suspicious of a girl you were dating if twice in a row she was like, oh, I just didn't feel good tonight. Like, you're like, we got plans, right? We got plans this Saturday for sure. Like, I made a res. Okay, great. And then that day, she was like, I don't feel so good. And then she did it again, like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
You would.
Yeah, her phone died at 8 o'clock. Okay, buddy.
Yeah.
Right.
You would be immediately suspicious of that person.
Totally. But not this guy. He's too good. To support the story, the agent eventually died, and an obituary was...
Actually, let's get back to Rob's distrust of his wife.
Yeah. We had
not showing up.
We had a bad Mother's Day today, to be honest.
Yeah?
She didn't like my present.
What was your present?
I was like, okay, here we go. I'm going to give you like orgasms all day. And she was like, who's going to watch the kids? And I was like, don't worry about the kids. Just let me give you orgasms.
And she wasn't into that?
She didn't want it. She turned my present away.
Did you tell her one of them could be a third baby if you tried hard enough?
Whatever she wanted. I was like, I'll do it any way you want. And I was like, you talk about, how you loved getting orgasms from all the guys you used to be with. I thought I'd give you one.
For once.
Yeah.
We were talking about this before you rolled up. If you have a third kid, we will average one kid per host.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't include any of Dan's dead ones, but...
Or stepkids.
Yeah.
So,
Or just abandoned, like bastards you don't know about.
Yeah, just the randos.
Yeah. So you've got
Finding my boy.
you've got toilet and dumpster babies, the at least one stepchild in your future, and whatever kids you just they didn't want you to be a part of their life.
A couple close calls as well.
Yeah.
With the ectopic pregnancy.
Yeah, me and Courtney had one of those before we were married. That was gnarly because we had to go in at 3 a.m. She was so like sick. She was like vomiting out of pain and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've almost murdered several women
With ectopic pregnancy.
Yeah.
That's the number one. So it's actually really weird. I don't know if this is how it is in America, but it is like internationally, like worldwide. The doctors told us when we had the ectopic, because they were talking about treatment options, that the number one cause of death in pregnant women is an ectopic pregnancy, which is kind of a fudging of the stats, I feel like, because you're not pregnant when you have an ectopic pregnancy. There's a fertilized egg.
Some people would disagree with you.
The insane
dumb.
people.
Yeah.
Insane people would.
They're very stupid.
That's not a viable baby. Like it's like
it will never. God can't fix that.
No.
Yeah. No matter what you believe, God can't fix that, and God made a mistake.
Right.
Yeah.
So but like they're like, this is how most pregnant women die. So like you're not even pregnant though. It's really weird that it's called a ectopic pregnancy.
Well, speaking of death,
what I was gonna say,
I'm sorry.
They told us at 3 a.m. she was pregnant, and then didn't figure out it was ectopic until about 7.
There's 4 hours of
in like 2017 where I thought I was a dad.
damn.
I didn't sleep.
There was about 12 hours and
you're like, I can't have a
it was about
child
12
with this
hours.
woman.
I know.
12 hours to 24 in 2013 where I thought I might be one, but
Sick.
yeah, it wasn't fun.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's not.
No, I owned it. I was looking forward to it.
Why'd you abort it then?
God aborted it.
Okay. So to prove that he died, his agent died in Liverpool, the MI5 placed a fake obit in the newspaper. The Germans were also persuaded by Pujol to pay a pension to the agent's widow, who was no one. So they were paying out shit to they were like, yeah, I guess we got to. He was giving us good shit.
Just fucking clowned.
Yeah. So for radio communication, Alaric was his nickname in the German camp. So he was called Garbo by the Brits and Alaric by the Germans.
Isn't Alaric a German figure of myth or something like that, or maybe like a famous German king? So this guy is just like
I wonder if he ever got his code name.
ruler of all. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Germans were like, this guy's the GOAT. They'd be like, if the Americans now named some
He's
Chinese
LeBron.
spy playing us like LeBron. Yeah.
He's
Right.
LeBron, dude.
And
What if he used
he's
the wrong code name though? He's in the German camp. He calls himself Garbo.
Yeah, it's Garbo. I mean,
Shit.
Alaric.
Yeah. Who's Garbo? That's one of my guys. Yeah.
it's it's a funny nickname I have at the pub where I do spying.
Yeah. God, that would be so shitty.
It's because I'm a garbage.
Not like they could kill him.
No.
He's not meeting with them in Berlin.
No, he's communicating via radio and post in Lisbon. In Lisbon, well, now Britain. But at first, he was saying he was in Lisbon, or he was saying he was in London. He's just in Portugal kicking it. That's it. But yeah, anyway.
Dude's a catfish.
Yeah, this might be the greatest catfisher of all time.
He definitely is. And this next part really proves how valuable he was. So the Germans thought he needed the strongest hand encryption that they had. So they provided him with this system, which was in turn supplied to the code breakers at Bletchley Park. Garbo's encrypted messages were to be received in Madrid, manually decrypted, and re-encrypted with an Enigma machine for retransmission to Berlin. Having both the original text and the Enigma encoded intercept of it, the code breakers had the best possible source material for a chosen plain text attack on the German Enigma key.
So this guy features heavily, but not actually is in 2 famous recent World War II movies.
Yeah, the other one was the
Imitation Game.
Imitation Game. Yeah, he was the one getting the source material basically.
Yeah.
For that Enigma machine to work.
So the Imitation Game is the one with Benedict Cumberbatch, for those who don't know, and then Operation Mincemeat is with Colin Firth. That one's on Netflix. That one's the Netflix movie, I think. I don't know where Imitation Game is streamed. Both are great movies. You should watch both.
Yeah, no, they are both very good. But yeah, no, I mean, he cracked the German code. Without him, they do not crack the German communication code.
Did they have their own wind talkers?
It might have been this guy. He was just pretending to know Navajo.
No, the Germans, I mean.
Oh, I don't
It
know.
would be funny if the Germans, there was just like one Navajo guy in Germany.
It's like, I'll do
He
whatever
was
you want.
studying abroad, and he was like, you know what? Fuck America.
You know
They
what?
took all of my land. I hope you take all of Europe, and then I hope you take all their fucking land.
Just give me some.
I wouldn't blame him.
No, they get a pass on hatred toward America for sure.
Yeah.
It's like we were doing it fine.
I'm sorry. They're doing just fine now with their casinos.
Okay,
Yeah, they seem great.
they love it. In January
I think
1940,
they have like the highest poverty rate.
yeah, dude, they weren't really set up for success after we, bulldozed them.
It's not
A couple of them
ideal.
are crushing it though.
Yeah, sure. That's how we measure success. Well, that one guy's a billionaire. Yeah. In January 1944, the Germans told Pujol that they believed a large-scale invasion in Europe was imminent and asked to be kept informed. The invasion.
First off, that's not even a. Of course, you think that. We think it's imminent. What do you mean imminent? Imminent in the next 3 weeks? Because obviously you're fighting a war.
Yeah.
It is imminent.
And
Like
it's a later part. It's really progressed at this point too. Like it's going to happen.
right.
You know that.
Like imminent. What does that mean? Like even in 1943, it's imminent. It's imminent. If they're gonna attack, if you're not attacking anymore, and you're building an Atlantic wall, yeah, they're gonna fucking attack you at some point.
Yeah, exactly. I think they
just
knew
such a-
that D-Day was coming pretty soon though.
It is funny. I mean, like the more I've read a little bit more recently about the beginning of the war, and like the Germans really did not think they were going to conquer France.
Really?
They were shocked. Like it was an accident.
France was
And-
kind of a heat check.
And France, like
That's not the right term.
no, it's not. It wasn't a heat
It was a
check.
Hail Mary that worked.
It was just like a throw. Yeah, it was like a throw from the logo that goes in.
Or like you're on the Statue of Liberty and it goes for a touchdown. It's like, what?
yeah. I mean,
They
they
were getting 10 yards maybe.
because the French like they get a lot of shit. Not wrongly. I mean, they got conquered in 40 days, but like their equipment was great. Their army did really well 30 years before that. Less than 30 years before that. They just like, it's like you just got caught on a bad day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or they just came with a plan that was totally unexpected. Like you've been studying film one way the whole time. I mean, it was like almost by accident that they conquered France. And
They're like, we want to keep them preoccupied. We want to fight, engage. But they were like, oh yeah, like we had no plans to take Paris.
yeah.
Whoops.
And it just kind of happened.
So the invasion that they're referring to is Operation Overlord. And Pujol played a leading role in Operation Fortitude, the deception campaign to conceal Operation Overlord. So he sent over 500 radio messages between January 1944 and D-Day, at times more than 20 messages per day. During planning for the Normandy beach invasion, the Allies decided that it was vitally important that the German leaders be misled into believing that the landing would happen at the Strait of Dover. I think this is where we start getting into mincemeat.
Maybe. I can't remember what it was about, but it's like where the body washes up.
Oh, I thought mincemeat was the one with the fake planes and stuff.
No. The fake tanks, inflated tanks.
the
No, that's a
blow-ups.
different thing. They like floated a body to shore that was supposed to be like a British guy with intelligence on him.
Oh, then he wasn't part of mincemeat.
Oh, he wasn't part of mincemeat?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
But yeah, this was like what Patton was a part of. So in the movie Patton, they do a great job of showing this. Patton's all pissed off because the Germans like fear him, so they put him in and around Dover to make the Germans think that the landing's going to be at Calais, which is right across from Dover. It's the shortest point, and it was also the most fortified, strongest point in the Atlantic Wall because it's so fucking close. And yeah, so it was that was that whole thing with the inflatable tanks and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. So in order to maintain his credibility, it was decided that Garbo should warn the Germans of the timing and some details of the actual invasion of Normandy, although sending it too late for them to take attentive action. So special arrangements were made with the German radio operators to be listening to Garbo through the night of like the 5th to the 6th, basically between the 5th and the 6th that night of June 1944, using the story that a sub-agent was about to arrive with important information. However, when the call was made at 3 a.m., no reply was received from the German operators until 8 a.m., so they actually biffed it on the German side.
3 a.m. is like when the paratroopers are happening.
Yeah,
That's not, the people aren't even on the beaches yet.
Yeah. So like they don't respond until 8. And this allowed Garbo to add more genuine but now out of date information too. And when it increased their like his standing with them even more. Like, holy shit! Like this is what you were gonna tell us? Fuck! What do you? Whoa!
This guy knows everything. That's our fault for not being awake. Oh
Sorry,
shit,
man.
You crushed it though.
Yeah, dude. Fucking nice work, man. What's funnier though is that he got to be pissed at them, like in communications.
That's
so
glorious.
So Garbo told his German contacts that he was disgusted that his first message was missed, saying, I cannot accept excuses or negligence. Were it not for my ideals, I would abandon this work right now. So he's like, if it weren't for your fucking cause and me believing in it, I would be done here. You guys are a joke. You guys are fucking this up.
I hope that him and every Brit that he was working with writing that reply or whatever was just pissing their pants with laughter.
I feel like this is like Nathan Fielder doing spy work in World War II. Just like, just leaning in harder when you think he's going to break or something like that.
It's so funny too, because it's like he could have gone the one route and been like, oh man, we missed it. But it's like you actually do sell it better by negging the shit out of them, by being like, you garbage piece of fucking shit.
Like, look at what this would have helped you with. Like, granted, if they had picked up when he called, like, he would have had less to give, so it was perfect. Then he got to lean in. It's even better.
It's responding to a "you up" text at like 2 hours later when they're clearly asleep.
Yeah. It's like 5 a.m. and you like wake up to piss. You see the "you up."
Yeah.
And you want to respond because your wife wouldn't let you give her orgasms all day.
Right.
But you know she's asleep now.
You still respond.
I still respond.
And then you kind of like shift the blame on them. Be like, I responded. I was up.
Yeah. So on June 9th, 3 days after D-Day, Garbo sent a message to German intelligence that was passed to Adolf Hitler himself and the German High Command. Garbo said that he had conferred with his top agents and developed an order of battle showing 75 divisions in Britain. In reality, there were only about 50. Part of the Fortitude Plan was to convince the Germans that a fictitious formation, first U.S. Army group comprising 11 divisions, which is about 150,000 men, commanded by George Patton, was stationed in southeast Britain, where you were just talking about.
Yeah, Dover-ish.
So he set up that.
Yeah. And so that was a big thing with D-Day, too. So actually, I did one of the classes I took in college, because I'm such a tool for history, is I took an ROTC class.
Did you have to dress up?
No.
You serve?
I think this counts.
Yeah, you
can still have valid.
I'm a veteran.
Yeah.
I took an ROTC class.
What does ROTC stand for?
Reserve Officer Training Corps.
Ah, okay.
It was called Amphibious Warfare, or History of Amphibious Warfare. And one of my final reports was on D-Day. I think my final report was on D-Day. And I essentially came to the conclusion that if the Germans had responded appropriately, they would have thrown us back into the sea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I do believe that to this day. By the way, this pissed off all these fucking little army kids they were like, no way, we would have won D-Day. We would have hell won D-Day. Fuck you.
We would have taken Topeka.
I'm like, no, man. Yeah, really. No, I think if they had marshaled the armored forces on time, especially considering the weather was dog shit, which kind of removes the air power situation for the first couple days, it would have been a real fucking problem.
Yeah.
And, I think the guy in charge, I think he's like a major or something, who taught the class was like, all right, okay. But the rest of the kids were like, not about it. And actually what was funny about that too, about that being in that class, is I was in the ROTC building 3 times a week, and sometimes I would go around it or whatever. And there used to be, this isn't for you guys because you're not going to understand this, but there used to be this game called Close Combat. It's a series, the Close Combat series. This is Close Combat 1, Close Combat 2, A Bridge Too Far, Close Combat 3, The Russian Front. It's all these World War II games, right? Well, I guess at some point the Close Combat series had made a modern version specifically for the U.S. military to train on with squad level, not squad level, company level tactics, I guess you could say. Not battalion, company level tactics. And I had played all these games growing up on my computer or whatever. And I went into the computer room one day and saw all these dudes playing it. And I was watching them play. And I was like, you're bad at this. You guys are officers? You are. Like, this guy was like, and they could play against each other, right?
Yeah.
So this guy was like, at one point, I watched one guy who was training to become an officer in the United States military. Now, granted, people fuck around, whatever. But he was just like, he was just charging some guy's machine gun with like 3 rifle platoons.
So he got mercilessly slaughtered.
Gunned down.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, shit, you killed all my guys.
Yeah.
It's like, I was like, man, I wouldn't even do that against the computer out of my own pride.
So, moral of the story, Rob should be a general in the U.S.
Yes.
Of course. That's what we
It's the pitch I'm making. We've already established that I'm a veteran.
Yes. Just up his status.
Hey. It was wild how bad they were at it.
Yeah, if the U.S. military wants to sponsor our podcast, by all means, do it. Anyway, the deception was supported, like we mentioned, with fake planes, inflatable tanks, and vans traveling about the area, transmitting like fake radio chatter. Garba's message pointed out that units from this formation had not participated in the invasion, and therefore the first landing should be considered a diversion. So, like, D-Day was a diversion completely.
Yeah, that's what they, and that is what they thought. They thought that's why they didn't react, is because they were like, no, don't hit Normandy. They're still coming over Calais. That's where the main thrust is going to be. So don't waste your fucking don't counterattack them.
Yeah. So a German message to Madrid sent 2 days later said all reports received in the last week from Arabel, which is his spy network codename in Germany, have been confirmed without exception and are to be described as especially value. A post-war examination of German records found that during Operation Fortitude, at least 60 of Pujol's reports were included in German high command intelligence summaries. So this was people just like, yup, this guy's the man, the whole way up to pretty much Hitler.
Said so.
Like, even Hitler was like, that's good shit.
Yeah.
He fucked the entire German intelligence network up.
That's the war right there, by the way.
It's the entire war.
Yeah.
He kind of won the war. Like,
I'm not giving him that much credit.
He opening up that second front absolutely fucked them. And because opening up that second front, especially what it did eventually was Hitler, it caused the Battle of the Bulge to happen, which took a ton of resources away from the Eastern Front to try to essentially, like, Hitler just wanted to knock one side out, and he knew the Allies would be less, or he thought the Americans and British would be less inclined to keep going than the Soviets would, because the Soviets are psychos, but he didn't realize.
Well, the Soviets are right there.
Right.
Too. Yeah.
So even getting a foothold of everything, yeah, I mean, it's, because coming up through Italy would have been a bitch.
Yeah.
Because there was already technically a second front in Italy.
Yeah.
But that's narrow. You got to go up through the Alps. That's a bitch.
Oh, totally. The geography of that would have been a nightmare. And, like, we were lucky enough that Italy was just like, no, you're here. We're for you now.
Yeah.
Yeah. The High Command accepted Garba's report so completely that they kept 2 armored divisions and 19 infantry divisions at Calais.
It's Pas de Calais, yeah.
Pas de Calais, yeah, I blended them. Waiting for a second invasion through July and August of 1944. The German commander-in-chief in the West, Field Marshal Gerd von Rundstedt, refused to allow General Erwin Rommel to move these divisions to Normandy.
Yeah, Rommel wanted to counter. That's what I said in my fucking presentation. I was like, they held Rommel back, their best general.
The reason for that is our boy Pujol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, Rommel was like, we need to counterattack now. And they were like, hold on, Erwin.
Yeah.
We're getting some good info.
So because of all this, there were actually more German troops in Calais 2 months after the Normandy invasion than there had been on D-Day. So they kept ramping it up. They kept wasting more resources, just stockpiling for Calais. In late June, Garba was instructed by the Germans to report on the falling of V-1 flying bombs, finding no way of giving false information without arousing suspicion, and being unwilling to give correct information. Harris arranged for Garbo to be arrested. So he faked his own arrest, basically. Okay. He returned to duty a few days later, now having a need to avoid London, and forwarded an official letter of apology from the Home Secretary for his unlawful detention. Overall, this has kind of ended his campaign at this point. Overall, the Germans paid Pujol $340,000 US over the course of the war to support his network of agents.
At that time.
At that time.
I'm
You
gonna-
want to do that math real quick?
Yep.
At one point in time, the Germans had record of 27 different sub-agents working underneath Pujol.
He is just an OnlyFans sugar baby.
Yeah, they're like, oh, daddy, give me that info.
That is a catfish. That's like a guy just running like a female account who just cashes in on money.
Yeah, for
from
sure.
Fucking simps.
What is crazy to me is he had 27 sub-accounts.
What'd you say, 350?
340,000.
And he never met any of these people.
No, he never met anyone in person. Except for the British side, of course. He met.
It's kind of on the Germans.
They paid him $6.1 million.
Why would you ever trust somebody over radio communication?
Or letters.
You can't just like fly back and forth and meet.
Well, okay, so
You would have to establish some type of
okay. Remember, he
relationship.
went to an embassy in Portugal,
Sure.
and he had fake diplomatic papers, and he did at the very onset had a good enough reason to be like, okay, we'll teach you how to spy, and he just ran with it from there. So they never double checked, basically, because all of his info was so good, but late.
They're like, man, this guy keeps almost
Nailing it.
getting it.
Yeah, pretty much. And they were like,
This is what happens. Well, it's again, people underestimate or overestimate the Gestapo. Like they give them way too much credit. Like I guess they were great at sniffing out helpless Jews.
Yes. They were
and muscling people who had no way to defend themselves into turning over Jews and other partisans.
Oh, they were
and
good at
informants.
scaring innocent people.
Yeah.
That weren't armed.
Ripping out gold teeth.
Yeah.
So
they weren't. That's not even hitting fastballs. That's hitting balls off a tee. You know what I
it's
mean?
T-ball,
Like
for
it's
sure.
fucking
It's the easiest part of war.
right. They were really like the Germans got clowned so fucking hard
So
in the intelligence.
I do want to talk about his honors that he received. So
That's what happens when you're on meth all the time.
It's not doesn't help. You
doesn't.
just believe anything. You know what I mean? You're like, yeah, no, she's got a great idea. We're just gonna go. There's a house, nobody's there right now. We're gonna go get their sofa and fucking sell it, dude.
They were making business ideas on cocaine. It was business ideas on cocaine. Like every group of dudes at 3 a.m. that's doing coke is like, oh man, we got to start. This is the business. This is the idea. That was their entire strategy. Yeah. So,
Hondos, dude, Hondos. You can only order in quantities of 100.
so he received an MBE from King George VI on November 25th, 1944. The Nazis never realized they had been fooled, and thus Pujol, along with Eddie Chapman, another double agent, earned the distinction of being. Well, hold on, let me back up. He received the MBE from King George, but he also was awarded the Iron Cross Second Class in 1944 by the Germans for his work.
God.
So he got basically the highest award you could get for two countries that were fighting each other.
Right. That's like winning team MVP on two different teams.
Just to specify how big of a deal that was for the Iron Cross that he got, the award was normally reserved for frontline fighting men and required Hitler's personal authorization.
Yeah, the Iron Cross. Well, I don't know what the classes are, but the Iron Cross is their Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
And Victoria Cross is the British Medal of Honor. Iron Cross was the I don't know what they have now. I assume they still don't do the Iron Cross.
But Adolf Hitler had to approve his Iron Cross.
Yeah.
And he hand signed
Like,
it.
this guy's cement. He keeps-
So he's one of the few people to receive decorations from both sides during World War II. There aren't that many, but he's one of them.
That's great.
And that's the story of our boy Pujol. His full name, Juan Pujol Garcia.
How long did he live?
He lived until
Peaceful life until his 80s?
He died. Let's see here. I think he lived into his 80s. Yeah, he ended up moving to South America. So he
More double agents.
I could say, he missed his German friends.
I have some parts here.
He was like, I hated. I did German. But he's like,
it's actually just the end of Shawshank. He's like, I'll meet you in South America on the boat.
yeah. Well, it'd be funny if he did go to just hang out with him. He's like, you guys, politically, I hate you, but you're nice.
Yeah,
But he just became homies with them. It's
Yeah.
like prison, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they never realized that they got duped by this guy.
at any point they never.
No, they
when
never
did when
figured-
did his story become public though?
the 80s.
You write like an autobiography?
Okay, so pretty much everyone working with was fucking dead.
Yeah. So after the Second World War, Pujol feared reprisals from surviving Nazis. With the help of MI5, Pujol traveled to Angola and faked his death from malaria in 1949. He then moved to Langanillas, Venezuela, where he lived in a relative anonymous state, running a bookstore and gift shop. So in 1971, the British politician Rupert Alson, writing under the pen name Nigel West, became interested in the whole story. He interviewed him and stuff like that.
When did Venezuela become communist?
I don't know.
Is that a more recent development?
Weird that he moved there.
Yeah.
I think it is kind of modern.
I do think, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see when they actually...
In Florida, I had a bunch of friends that were from Venezuela, and I'm pretty sure they moved.
Oh, yeah. I knew a ton of Venezuelan kids.
Yeah, it might have been like 90s.
Yeah, it was a big move, like during Chavez.
99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he lived a relatively peaceful life after that. And he went back to Normandy on the 40th anniversary of D-Day and paid his respect at the beaches. So, guy, overall, pretty sick. What'd you guys learn?
Learn that the Germans are fucking it doesn't. People think that like fascism or even like, I don't know, a good monarchy is like some sort of streamlined situation. Like, it's not.
No,
it's not. It's not more efficient.
People blindly trusted others until like 1980.
Dude, until the internet, really. Like, I mean, you could get away with scams in the 90s still.
There was some
high-speed internet.
Oh, yeah.
We're fucked.
There was some comedian I saw once who was like, people don't understand that before you had a phone to check everything, like the way to end a discussion about you being sure that you were right is like, just be like, I swear to God.
Yeah.
I swear on my mother's grave.
Yeah, dude, I fucking swear.
Yeah, it's like, no, I swear to God, Tom Hanks was on a sitcom where he cross-dressed.
And like, you just had to be like, all right, dude.
Okay, if you're confident. Yeah, if you're that serious about it.
I literally have thought about this since smartphones became a thing. It's like, I can't just make my point louder anymore. Like, because that would be, it's like,
you still can.
Yeah,
you can.
You would think so. Somehow it's more prevalent.
Yeah, because whether or not you're right or you're proven right or wrong,
it's actually worse.
Doesn't matter.
It's actually almost worse because now, maybe like then, I guess, with Pujol, you can find information supporting what you said.
Oh, that's true too. You can Google.
You can find something written that supports what you say.
You can lead the search engine.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You can lead the witness.
Isn't it true that this happened? Yeah.
But it's also almost an insult because you're like, you're not going to check this. Like, you're never.
That needs to be the new stigma is like, bitch, you got to Google it. You dumb bitch.
Yeah, you don't even know.
That's the only way we can make people smarter again is just to be like, you had to Google that? You bitch.
Yeah, Googling
you dumb Googling bitch.
You're just trying to look smart.
Yeah, fucking idiot.
Yeah, that's why you got to do it really sly before you even get into the argument.
I think we have a pretty easy Hitler for this episode.
It's our boy.
I actually think it's everyone that worked for Hitler.
Bunch of Hitlers.
Yeah.
Hitler's
a victim.
Hitler he got duped, guys. He's the victim of being catfished. Yeah. Hitler is Nazi Germany this week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hitler's just like the Gestapo like workflow.
Yeah, just the chain up,
yeah,
basically, which is headed by Hitler.
Fair.
He's the top of the pyramid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's our show for today, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Again, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/softcorehistory. We do 2 additional episodes a week on there, all ad-free, different formats, fun stuff, watch-alongs, check it out. Go to softcorehistory.com for merch. And yeah.
Maybe some new designs on the way.
Perhaps. And please leave a review. Dan, tell them how to do that.
Go on Apple, click 5 stars, and then write a review. And then Spotify, you just have to hit 5 stars. I guess on the back end, we can see people leave comments to episodes on Spotify that I can't see anywhere else, but I can see it on the back end. They're kind of funny.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Share them.
Do that, I guess.
Yeah, and shout out to Tofurkey Sandwich, a podcast by History Geniuses for History Geniuses.
Yes, that's correct. No lies told.
And they do a great job of disclosing sources. Buckle up, folks. You're in for a treat.
Buckle up, buckaroos. Again, thanks so much for listening. For Rob Fox and Dan Chester, I'm Jake Goldman.
Actually, hold on. I have one more review to read.
Okay.
Because it's wonderful. This is from Colts878868. The title is Jews.
Okay.
The review is a funny yet informative podcast by a Jew, a guy who looks and sounds like a Jew.
Is that me?
That's me. There's no way that's not me. And a guy whose family probably hunted Jews in the 30s and 40s.
That's you.
Yeah, I think that's you.
I think that's you, and Dan's the Jew.
I don't know.
I look like, I have the beard.
Yeah.
I'm Hasidic.
You look like you would be rocking some
like
Hugo
a pasty
Boss.
Gestapo.
You wore
I
a
do look.
Gestapo outfit.
I do. What?
In a play, didn't you?
No, just regular Nazi uniform.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I played
Fair.
Sergeant Schultz in Stalag 17.
Anyway, great review. Rob Fox and Dan Regester. I'm Jake Goldman.
You just got soft serve.